You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
$160s, get out of here.
We're
171, done. Here we come. That's right, people.
We were saying a couple years ago, we were like, wait until we get to the 170s when we can really let loose.
The roof is going to fly off this bitch.
Or it may just be fine.
Are we doing something special for 200?
We should, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is, of course, 30 weeks away.
Right.
So, yeah.
Next year.
Next August,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll try to do something.
If we're around that long.
Knock on wood.
Might be the zombie apocalypse by then.
Let's hope not.
How do you think the world's going to end? Ice would be twice as nice.
Dude, Robert Frost?
Yeah.
I'm going to say war.
Really? I don't think it's going to do it.
Somebody will eventually say.
Well, you know, at the nuclear missile test things, they did drills with those guys to see, you know, because they had to both do it at the same time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wouldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, like one guy's like, gun, like, do it or I'll kill you.
I can see somebody like,
you're going to have to shoot me in the face.
Man, I really had it with these guys, man. I really had it. And the guy next to him, like,
maybe.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
See, yeah, you're right. Fuck them. You know?
I don't see civilized people. You know, Joe would disagree. Like, you know, people are mostly evil. I would say civilized people mostly, you know, are good or think they're doing good. I don't think I've ever met somebody who is like evil, who believes that they're evil.
Right.
Unless it's like some kind of psychopath guy that like that he chopped up some kids.
Yeah, and I've never met that guy.
Never met that guy either. I've seen some people that like the humanity in them is dying.
Yeah,
like there's
I've seen people with a skewed view of the value of human life. But I've never seen anybody that wakes up, gets out of bed, and thinks to themselves, "Today's the day I'm gonna be a bad motherfucker."
Yeah. And it's interesting. Even like they talk about the psychology of these people who do these like mass shootings and everything. They're all depressed. They're all on antipsychotic medication. It's interesting. It's interesting type of person. You know, it's scary, but at the same time, you wonder how it's gonna wash out. That like we're getting closer and closer to like, you know, understanding that behavior and the red flags will come sooner and sooner and sooner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what if there's like some kind of software that your phone watches your behavior and they calculate your tone, your voice, your heart rate, what you're watching, what you're saying and whatever. And that information never goes anywhere until like the elements of that are like, warning. And then it shoots like a warning to somebody to start watching you and whatnot. That shit is scary. It's already happening in China. Like, that's a fact. But, but at the same time, you're like, well, I wonder what will be the ramifications of that, you know? Because I do think we need a little bit of, like, flirting with dangerous ideas, you know, to mature. You know, if things are too soft, it's too easy, if you don't struggle a little bit, if you don't get your ass whipped every once in a while.
Yeah, I think we need to be challenged to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. Some famous philosopher said if humans ever created a utopia, they'd fuck it up because they'd be bored and need something to do. Need some kind of, you know, conflict.
I think that's natural.
So we're evil little monkeys sometimes.
But I do enjoy the moments without conflict.
Yeah, dude. I kind of feel like this Christmas. Oh, dude. Funny enough about Christmas conflicts. So apparently some douchebag at like some Santa mall thing or whatever, like national whatever, is just standing around waiting for like 4 hours, like, Santa isn't real. It's all bullshit. Santa isn't real.
Oh, my God.
And like was screaming this shit for like 4 hours. And nobody whooped that ass. You know what I mean?
That's you can't do that legally. You can't just be screaming and disturbing the peace.
No.
You know, like just get a fucking cop.
Maybe.
I mean, like you can't just go into a mall and start shouting like anything. Like
maybe he filled out a protest thing. You know. And it was I think it was a national type event, like, you know, public space type of thing. Yeah, I mean, freedom of speech. They call them Santa Truthers.
All three of them.
Yeah, Santa Truthers.
The 3-man gang of Santa Truthers. This is their hill to die on,
dude.
I don't, Janet like definitely knows, but she knows better than to verbalize it, which we talked a little bit about yesterday.
Knows what?
That
what? No,
this
Stop
harsh
it.
truth. She said, told my wife yesterday. She was talking to, it's the elf on the shelf, Sparkle, and she came up to my wife and was like, "Look, I've been whispering some things to Sparkle to kind of get done or for the Christmas spirit, but she doesn't seem to be cooperating. So I'm just going to mention them to you, and if you wouldn't mind mentioning them to Sparkle, then maybe we can."
Dude, what is a little smart ass, bro?
But as long as you don't start talking that shit,
it's funny, dude. Like, isn't it funny how the way you're wired, your kids play to that a certain way? Because like you enjoy shit like that. Like I would be so intolerant of that to my kid. That like reading this book. It's like don't let your children become people you don't like. That's like one of the main things with parenting. Like your job to make successful human beings, you need to give your kids the ability to be liked by people. Like adults want to be around them, and adults want to teach them, and and that kids want to play with them. Like that's like the main thing.
That's a challenge.
It is. And I think about the stuff, and like I see the difference like between my oldest, my middle, and my youngest. And I was surprised. The teacher was like,
"Which one do you think you did the best on striking the balance?" And I say you, I mean your family.
Yeah, I think my oldest is the most balanced, but she's like an old soul, man. There's like some of that shit is just nature. You know what I mean? Like she's super conservative.
Yeah.
She's, but let me finish.
Okay.
But surprisingly enough, we went to our parents-teacher conference or whatever. Alexa, most popular kid in the class. Like hands down, like everybody wants to be around her. Everybody wants to be her friend. She's like the leader. She's running the pack. And I'm like, that does make sense.
See, I think what's funny, the reason why I asked that question is because I think your kids are both imbalanced, those two, to those strengths that you just mentioned. And I actually think that Talia is the one that's most balanced.
She's by far the most balanced.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
No. Like, she's the most balanced of, like...
that adults want to be around her and kids want to be around her.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Because I think Selena's the same way.
Yeah.
Like, Jaina doesn't get along well with people her age. She has a few friends or whatever, but she's not, but adults love being around her. And the baby is too soon to tell.
Yeah.
But, but Selena, like, is super popular at school.
Yep.
And people like her.
Super cute. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
that's too
cute. The cuteness always wins you over. Because I think my youngest one is the one that we're like, you need to go do something with yourself. This is too much, and like we have to lean on her a little bit. My oldest one is, she got lots of friends. They have a good time, but you know what it is? It's like other people's kids who come to my house that I can't fucking stand.
Oh yeah, because you don't have any investment. I think
it's not the investment, man. Your kids are fine. When your kids come to my house,
yeah, but that's still. I feel the same about your kids. That's not what I mean. I mean like kids that aren't family.
Roy's daughter's fine, and we see her 4-6 times a year.
So I'm thinking maybe the kid you see just on birthdays or just on those special events.
And there's kids that I see more often than other. There's kids out there, bro, that are little shits, and I don't want to be around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we had this. There's this weird thing, and like this would be an interesting topic to start the podcast off with. So there is a young child that we talk about this that did transitioned from a girl to a boy
At your school?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think
Is it female to male or male to female?
Female to male.
Okay.
And I want to say 7th grade.
So it's in Kara school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're still in the same school.
Oh, I got
That school goes all the way to the 8th grade.
I got you.
Yeah. And so my youngest was like, yeah, so-and-so changed their name, and now they're a tomboy. She didn't say boy, because she understands the concept of tomboy, because my wife's like, yeah, I was a tomboy. You're kind of a tomboy type of thing. And, my youngest, made this statement, like, sometimes I want to be a boy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, No, you don't. No, you don't. I didn't say anything to her.
But I think that's natural.
I do too.
Play
I do
with that
too.
as a
I do
kid.
too. But like, I think now, like these the parents, I think want to push this shit because I think it's a status thing, man. Like, oh, look at me, I'm so progressive.
Yeah,
I'm so
maybe.
supportive of my child.
I think that parent. But to be fair, I think that parents today, like our generation of parents, put sauce on everything.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so
Absolutely.
like this is just one direction, but it's like a kid could be like, I want to try a model airplane.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, I'm hearing from their father, like, yeah, he really wants to be a pilot. So we're like, pushing him to be a pilot. And it's like, dude, he's 6.
Yeah.
Let him build the fucking plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's stupid.
But I feel like our generation of parents does that with everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, thank God for our grandparents.
Yeah. And I mean, my dad's like a grandparent.
Yeah. I mean, his age.
Old as
right?
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I concur. But
I mean, my mom did it to my brothers and stuff. Like I remember
how'd that work out?
Yeah, I mean they're all trash. I mean that's not true. To be fair,
Your sister's in all right now.
yeah, and so has Ben. I mean, in terms of his life, how it turned out. I mean, there's some personal life choices that didn't work out, but that could happen to anybody.
Whatever happened with that? Has he got the kids and
Yeah, he's got
remarried or anything or
no? He's got the kids.
he's
He's
a single dad? Ain't it?
single dad and doing it. I mean, he's doing it. I mean, he's doing a damn thing.
Good.
Like I mean, I tip my hat to him. It's a lot of work.
Dude, has he become your dad?
I'm not gonna give him those sorts of stripes, but I mean,
Yet.
there's elements.
Yet.
There's elements.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but I think I think the jury's still out. Like, I think it's worthwhile having this conversation. I think that like psychologists and scientists and people will be like, okay, let's examine what the best thing is for the person. I'm open to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think it's a little too shy to be pulling the trigger on everything. You know what I mean?
It's-
You get a penis. You get a penis. You get a penis. Everybody gets a penis.
Well, it's the same way. It's because it still comes down to that push.
Yeah.
Like I remember thinking, like in elementary school, like chasing girls.
Yeah.
Like because I've been interested in girls. Like I never went through the cooties phase. Like I've been interested in girls since I can remember.
I feel you.
And I remember chasing them around and trying. Like I chased Laura around when we were in kindergarten. That's a fact.
I remember.
But what I'm saying is that like I remember thinking to myself in elementary school, like, man, it'd be nice to be a girl.
Yeah.
Like you just get chased, and
Yeah,
you can pick your pick of the litter, and you don't have to. I remember playing with those concepts. It doesn't mean that I ever wanted to be a woman. It just means that I was toying with the idea, and if I was too ashamed, honestly, to bring those ideas up to like my parents or whatever.
Yeah.
But had I been, I think my dad would have just laughed and been like, you play the cards you're dealt.
Yeah.
I think is what he would have said. Like, he probably would have been like, well, I wish I was 8 feet tall and fucking, built like a 19-year-old athlete, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So we just got to deal with that.
I remember this thing. So I had to be. Let me think. I was at Dasher Green, so I had to be in first grade because it was all day school, and there's a little girl there, and I liked her, but I used to pick on her, and her dad. So one day, like, I was teasing her about something, and she's African American chick, and her dad, and like she hit me, like I did something too much and she hit me. So her dad came in the next day, and I think that he thought like because looking back at it now and seeing his reaction, I think he's like, oh, some white guy's picking on my daughter, right? So I saw him over there at the end of the day, and she's pointing, and I'm like, oh. So I tried to escape, right? And like he like jumped out of anywhere. He's like, hey man, you miss my daughter? I was like, I just like her. And you can see like he was angry, and then like he saw like, oh shit, I totally misread the circumstance, and like I started crying, like, yeah, I don't know why she hit me yesterday. And he's like, she punched me in the eye.
You snitch.
And he started giving me a pat. It's like, hey, it's okay. You just can't do that to girls. You just can't do that. And like and I don't like her after that.
Yeah. I had my grandma talked to a girl at my school one time. This girl, Linda Smith, and she was relentless picking on me. She probably liked me. But it was like first grade, and I kept talking about it at home. And my grandma like went up and talked to her, and I was like, "Don't talk to her, don't talk to her." Like I didn't want. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I recall that. Another little fun memory I remember about first grade was there was this like jump to conclusions mat, for lack of a better term, like from Office Space. It was like this laminated mat that was on the floor.
Yeah.
And like you stepped on square one.
Yeah.
Or you had to roll the dice initially or whatever. And then you step on that.
Sounds like a bullshit game. Continue.
You step on that square. And then that square gives you directions as to what the next square to jump on is. Or you can make a decision like if you want to be a king, jump on square 5. If you want to be a warrior, jump on square 6 or whatever. And like
what if you wanted to be a wizard?
Saying. I think that if you like when the game looked like crazy fun.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tie my shoes, and you had to play on it with your shoes off.
Oh yeah.
And I just asked my dad recently to like go from Velcro to shoestrings because like kids were starting to clown me for wearing Velcro shoes.
You've already made a decision with this. We're not moving backwards.
So I had shoestring shoes, and I was sitting there. And I wanted to play on it so fucking bad, man.
Yeah.
And like, but I was too embarrassed to like have to say I don't know how to tie my shoes. So
can't ask for help.
These 2 girls did it, and they jumped on the jump to conclusions mat. And then they got off, and they didn't know how to tie their shoes. And the teacher, Miss Mazeritz, tied them for them. And I was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta way out. I can talk to Miss Mazeritz, and she's gonna." So I did it, and I had a blast. Like it was everything I thought it would be, you know. And I went up to Miss Mazeritz with my shoes, and I was like, "Can you help me? I don't know how to tie these." And she was like, "No, you should have learned." And I walked around the rest of the day with my fucking shoes untied. I tucked them in my socks.
What a cunt.
Yeah, she treated the boys in the class like shit. And you know,
it's funny, man. I went to we're getting ready for Rustmas. I went to get a little shopping done. I went to Five Below to buy a couple little like $5 gifts for the kids. Spent way too much money. It's fine. But as I was there,
Laura felt super guilty about all that. Like,
why?
I think because she thought that like she hit up Pam, I guess, to say like just to get clarification, like, are the kids participating in this? Because she didn't want to show up without presents for them to exchange in the thing if they weren't participating, and if they were participating, she didn't want them to come without the presents. You know, so she was just trying to get clarification, and Pam was like, "I don't know, ask Adam, and I'll ask Adam and talk to Adam." And then like next thing, it's like, "Yeah, Adam's gonna go get things for all the kids now." And Laura's like, "No, I'm not asking anybody to get anything for the kids. I just was asking if if the kids are involved." And
a couple extra presents for the kids. You know what I mean? Like one or two things.
So then when you say like $100 some dollars, if I'm below, she's
$136,
like,
no big deal.
Fuck. She's like, it's not like I wasn't asking him to buy gifts for the kids. Like,
damn, I forgot I was going with that though. Fuck.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You went there to buy gifts for the kids.
Five and Below. What did I pick? I was picking up something. Toys for Tots, maybe. Got some stuff for Toys for Tots as well. Fuck. It doesn't matter. Let's continue. How was your nerd day?
Well, yeah. Well, to be honest, I had a fast nerd week, but I did have a couple things happen. Shout out to Bobby and Daryl. They're 2 dudes. They came up from Virginia Beach and had dinner with us last week, like in the community, like reached out. And I talked to him like on the phone, and he had like this pretty interesting story, man. So like I wanted to document it, and he actually wanted it to be documented.
Okay.
So I have the audio of it. I'm gonna put it up on Nerd Rage probably around.
Can you play it right now?
No, because it's not edited or anything. But
okay.
But probably around.
It's a Patreon thing.
No, I think I'm gonna release to the general, like as a Christmas gift.
Gen Pop,
like a Christmas gift.
I wonder if we should do an extra Patreon episode for the Gen Pop, like free. It's a Christmas gift
for the Patreon folks.
Yeah, I mean no, but like anybody can go to it. You go to Patreon, you can listen to it. It's free.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I'll put this one up as that.
Okay, that'd be cool.
But he's a gay dude.
Okay.
And
so this him and his partner came up?
Correct.
Okay.
And he had he got into Transformers, but I don't want to give away all of the story, you know, but
give me the clip notes.
But basically, like we kind of examined the connection between being fascinated with something that was hiding in plain sight. And it was pretty.
And I think we've talked about that before.
And it was pretty fucking interesting.
Yeah.
So I recorded his story.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation about reviewers also. And I recorded that as well. So I'll probably mash them together into one and put that up. But
nice.
Yeah, it was a good conversation. Another thing that was interesting about it was we were all at the dinner table, and Jaina was like, "So you guys live together?"
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And they're like, are you your brothers? And they're like, no. And they're like, just really good friends. You know, like that's how they played it.
Yeah.
And it was awkward. You know, like it was awkward in the sense of like, how do we navigate this field? You know, and
don't they know about my dad? Like,
so wait for it.
Okay.
So, like, I just looked at my plate because I was like, I don't want to be the one, because maybe they feel
awkward.
Maybe they feel a way about how they tell kids. I don't know.
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
And Laura was like, you guys don't have to. And then Laura cut herself off and then looked over at Jana and was like, you know, Adam's dad. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, like they're the same way like Adam's dad.
Okay.
And James was like, okay, cool, and kept it moving.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it was interesting because it was the first time it kind of been brought up.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to watch as like a social experiment.
You know, it's funny. We like, I don't know, like it is fascinating with my kids though, because it's so the norm, and we never like talk about it anything different. Because like you wouldn't specify anything about a heterosexual relationship. Correct. It's just the norm.
Correct.
You don't say, oh, we're going to, you know, Bobby and Laura's house. They're heterosexual, you know. You know what I mean? Like you would never do that, right? But
we should start. We should start doing that.
Maybe. They're a man and woman.
Hey, do you know
they're cisgender man woman?
Hey, you know Russ and Anna, a heterosexual couple from Virginia?
Yeah. This sounds ridiculous. So we never do that. You know what I mean?
It's true.
And it's, you know, it's funny. I never think about like how normal.
Chris and Kelly are coming. Really good straight people.
Yeah. And like, and then you wouldn't know because they're both. You know, Chris and Kelly could be either or.
Yeah, don't worry about Chris and Kelly. Straight people, very cool. They're very cool about being straight.
Yeah. That shit is so true.
It's funny.
But I do look forward to the time and like, well, you know, maybe the world will change so much because we kind of lived through that transition.
Mm-hmm.
Pun intended.
Sure.
When you know that my kids will never think anything else about it. And like we had a really good Thanksgiving at my dad's. And I don't know if I talked about that last time. We played a game. It's a new game. I kind of like it. But we just had a really good time. You know, Greg was playing the piano. Then Kara was and my stepdad. His mother was a piano teacher, so they got a baby grand piano. My daughters were playing the piano, and then we were like all singing. Nice. Not all show tunes. Some Billy Joel in there.
Right, sure.
Elton John. You know, little Chopin was going on as well. But and then we play this game.
Chopin is your classical go-to.
I like Beethoven.
But Chopin is your go-to.
I do like
whenever you're like I listen to classical, I can listen to Chopin. It's like
dude, there's something about that whole like nocturne type like feel that just it. You know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. It's because of Castlevania.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Nocturne of the Moonlight. That whole soundtrack. And I've probably played that game.
I got you. It's just always funny.
But no, he was literally playing Chopin.
Yeah, you know? But no, it's just always like Chopin is always the name drop.
Is it?
Yeah,
I feel like I talk a lot of Beethoven as well.
No, you don't. You have to me.
Yeah,
but Beethoven is not a guarantee. Chopin.
Yeah,
he's getting
played. You know
somebody's picking that name up off the floor.
You know what's funny? In like Bach is supposed to be like the bee's knees. Like he's the one that was ahead of his time.
Correct.
And affected everybody else, everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But like
I think it's technicality over passion, man.
Maybe that's what it is. I can't do Bach like that, and I can't really do much Mozart. Like Mozart, I can get a little Mozart in and whatnot. Like especially like the one thing about classical music that I love. Or just instrumental music in general too, is like I don't want to think about words. Like sometimes I can fuck around with some music that in other languages, and I can like when I'm driving and I'm like in this zone, I'm in like this it's like this no thinking, almost like a meditative like just zone. Like it's mindlessness, not mindless.
See,
it's like you're just kind of in a meditative, like you're not thinking about anything and you're not thinking about anything. You're just flowing in that flow state.
That's kind of where I am with like. Ignorant music.
With what?
Ignorant music. Like when I listen to like ignorant music, like like I've been rocking the shit out of this jam called Mac Talk recently.
Yeah. See, I'm too analytical. I got to think about what they're saying.
And like,
you know,
I know that it's not Shakespeare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so like, I'm only in it. I'm not in it for the words. I'm in it for the vibe. Now, how the words are delivered affect the vibe, so that matters. But the actual, like, what's written on the page doesn't matter.
So you're almost falling into the rhythm of the noises of the mouth.
It's
Not necessarily the meaning.
It's the mood. But it's not just him. It's the music. It's all of it.
I get it. It's too distracting for me. Like if I'm reading, I can't have any music playing with words. It's got to be like elevated music or.
Yeah, honestly, I don't want anything playing while I'm reading. Like I don't even want I don't want TV on.
Let me tell you, you read Lord of the Rings.
Oh, with the soundtrack, that's different though. That's different though. That's different. But yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, so we played this game, man. Everybody wrote down. So there's like 10, 15 people there. Everybody wrote down 3 celebrities, but it can be any. It can be Batman.
Oh, you did talk about this a little
bit on the podcast.
I can't remember whether it was on the podcast or not, but yeah.
So the first round,
celebrities.
The first round, everybody goes around, and you go into the. It's like a time thing. So you go for a minute, and you try to get points. But if you pass, it's a -1 point. If you get it, so good family game for the holidays, right? But it could be like Batman, Superman, but you can't say the name. So you can't say like you can say signal in the sky. Commissioner Gordon calls him Batman. Okay, and the next time, the next round. So everybody knows what they are the first time, but the next round you can only say one word, and she'd be like justice. Batman, right? And the last round you just have to mime it. You know what I mean? So like one was Charlie Murphy, so I was like cocaine.
Oh yeah, because then you talked about how your dad you showed your dad the skit
didn't like it.
We talked about the breakdown.
So but that game that was a good time. It was a good
That's
time.
cool, man.
We got our puzzle for Christmas too, bro. Come early for the puzzles. Actually, I guess we're doing something different Christmas Day. I gotta figure that out. Pam like committed me to something on Christmas Day, and I'm not feeling it, man.
What?
I mean,
I thought you were going to your dad's.
We are. I don't want to go to my dad's for Christmas.
Oh yeah, because we would come over.
I know. I want y'all to come over.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave my house Christmas.
Yeah,
I spent my whole fucking childhood bouncing around.
Well, me too.
Bouncing around for Christmas.
I went to mom's house, dad's house,
But it's cool, like coming over here for Christmas Eve and then coming over to my house for Christmas Day. It's perfect.
Correct.
So we won't be doing that again next year. But everything's been going kind of well with the family. I'm getting along with my siblings. So I'm like, okay, let's put a little deposit in the emotional bank account right here with these people. So anyway, continue your story.
Let me think. I'm trying to. I know I had some other things. I'm still trying to make it through. I've watched like the first half of every episode of Making a Murderer. Is basically what it's come down to.
And then you fall asleep.
Yeah.
And just go to the next episode.
Yeah. I'm like, because I'm like, oh, I don't want to scan through. Like that's one of my big criticisms of Netflix is I think they should have chapters. I think that everything should have a chapter so you can skip ahead instead of having to scan through the whole fucking show.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Working on videos and stuff and doing all that. I helped my Jano with a diorama that's almost done for school of the Susquehanna.
Susquehanna?
And it's coming along nicely. We laid the silicone in this morning. And, dude, I know there's other stuff. There's, like, other stuff that, like, I didn't want to miss, and I'm missing it 100,000%. But maybe it'll come to me throughout the show.
I watched that Kurt Russell Santa Claus movie on Netflix, the Christmas Chronicles or whatever.
How was that?
Kids loved it. It was fun. It was fine. I mean, the fucked up bit about it is like, it's one of those like off the bat, it's like you kind of see it through this camera, right? So like you see all these videos of this happy family that have a kid. They have 2 kids, and like every year, like the first 15 minutes is like from 2007 to 2017, right? Or maybe earlier because I think the oldest boy is like 15 or 16. And the son who's older. But anyway, the dad ends up dying. Like, so then they're like 2018, and the dad's gone. He was a fireman, right?
Okay.
And then so it's about,
The Apple conversation. That's the one. Don't let me forget that.
Okay.
Put this in front of me.
All right. And, but it was good. Like, Kurt Russell actually did a good job. It's an interesting take on Santa. And the girls fucking, like, the elves are these little, like, they're almost like Mogwais. They're like Mogwais mixed with Pokemon. Super fucking cute.
Right.
And like it was good. It's not the Santa Claus.
Right.
Fucking relax. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
We watched Christmas Vacation, got that checked off, and we watched The Ref, which was like usually our first go-to.
I think we're gonna try to do Elf tonight. We can't find our fucking Elf DVD.
Really?
Yeah.
I got that at your house
I know.
last year.
Yeah, it's classic.
Yeah. So let me tell you about this Apple conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I had, I ordered the laptop with the Patreon money
Mm-hmm.
and then contributed some money to it as well in order to take advantage of a $200 off Black Friday deal.
Mm-hmm.
And you had made a joke about, like, does it have USB ports on it? And I was like, of course it has USB ports on it. Like, what kind of idiot would design a computer for charge you $2,000 for it and not have USB ports on it?
So I saw knew, like, I was like, if it's that one that doesn't have USB ports, I knew there was one, but continue the story.
Yeah. So, like, this, I don't
No,
even,
of course it does.
I don't even think this is the latest one.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is the first one to not have USB ports.
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
They've canceled them for a while. And I actually talked to Bobby and Daryl about it because Bobby's actually a bit of a techie kind of a guy. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I just switched over to Apple like 2 years
Bobby
ago.
and Daryl need a short name now, like Dabo
Yeah.
or Boda.
And they were like, he just switched over to Apple completely like a year or two ago. And
Yeah.
he was like, the reason why is because they are trying to push this country forward in terms of where we are at technologically in terms of personal use.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff that they're trying to do is stuff that Japan has been doing for 10 years or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he had some good points or whatever, but I wasn't trying to hear that shit this day. So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it out of the box, and I'm like, it doesn't have any fucking USB ports on it. Not only does it not have USB
damn
ports,
it, Adam's
it doesn't
not gonna
have
let this fucking-
HDMI on it. It doesn't have like any sort of.
Let me see that little bit right there. The little flappy flap wing.
So I call Apple, and I'm talking to one guy. He can't help me, so he sends me to another guy. I get loud and irate, and they said, give me a minute, we'll call you back. So the manager of this service department calls me back, and he's like, explain to me what's going on. And I was like, what happened is I spent $2,000 plus on a computer that can't do what a $200 computer can do, and I don't understand why. And he was like, well, you can buy the adapters. And I was like, so now I got to spend an extra $50 on adapters.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there one adapter that has everything I need? And he's like looking through them.
One adapter to rule them all.
And he's like, nope. And I'm like, so how many adapters do I need to get in order to accomplish the thing that this $200 laptop that I'm looking at right now on the internet can accomplish?
Yeah.
And he was like, you're going to need 3. And I was like, well, that's a problem because it only has 2 fucking ports. And he was like, no, it has 4. And I was like, no, it has 2. And he was like, I'm looking at it right now, sir.
Yeah.
And I was like, stop right there. No, you are not.
Yeah.
I am the one who is looking at it. And unless you are in my house, you're not looking at it.
Yeah.
So stop telling me you're looking at it when you're fucking not.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I'm looking at the one on the computer. And I was like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Mac, because I have this fucking computer in front of me, and it definitely 100%
It's got an ear jack port and like a power port.
And he was like, well, check the other side. And I was like, I'm checking the other side. There's none there.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's 2 there. And I was like, dude, if you tell me what my computer has one more time, I'm going to lose my mind. And 5 minutes later goes by, and of course the conversation, he's like, oh, you're right, it only has 2. And I was like, yeah, and I don't need you to tell me I'm right. I'm looking at it. I've tried to tell you I've been looking at it for the past fucking half hour, and you don't want to believe me, but I promise you I really am looking at it. I mean it.
Yeah.
I pinky promise. And he was like, well, you can get a third-party adapter, and that can do most of the shit. And I was like, how much shit do I have to hang off this thing? You've gone into so much effort trying to make this the sleek, sexy fucking this and that, and now I got to hang all this shit off of it. I'm looking like the Wright Brothers airplane with my fucking laptop because all this shit hanging off the sides of it. And
I don't get it.
Yeah, so my wife didn't get it either. And so he's like, sir, he's like, I understand your frustration. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't understand my frustration, and I'll tell you why. You've never bought a fucking Rolls Royce without a radio in it, and that's what I just bought.
Yeah.
And he was like, give me a minute.
Yeah.
So he was like, look, you have 15 days to return it, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about switching over entirely. And he was like, well, what do you have? And I was like, I have an iMac. I have this MacBook. I have another MacBook. I have an older MacBook. I have an iPad Pro. I have an iPhone. I have another iPhone. I have 2 more iPhones. I have an iPod. I have I'm just rattling them all. He's like, well, if you want to return it, blah, 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 cool. Get off the phone. And I'm literally thinking about making the switch. Yeah. They call me back in like 5 minutes.
And you haven't told me any of this.
No. No, and it all happened, and the same day I had those 2 coming up for dinner. So like it was all. So I get a call back in 5 minutes, and they're like, "Look, we're gonna send you all the adapters we have for free."
Oh wow!
And I was like, "Cool."
That's very cool.
Yeah. So that was that, and my wife just kept saying, "You sounded like an angry old man that didn't know why they decided to put color on their TV."
I wonder if there's like a wireless thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could connect wirelessly if something has Bluetooth, obviously.
Gotcha. But this doesn't have Bluetooth. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, Manny taught me through some stuff with this.
So we don't need this thing anymore? This thing? We don't need this?
So I'm keeping it because it has 2 USBs on it. So if there's ever something
this is a USB 2 or USB 3.
Don't give me one.
Fire USB. It's a special one.
So I'm keeping it, and we can put photos, SIM cards and all that kind of shit in there. It was inexpensive. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it.
Because it was free.
No, not that one. There was the 2 white ones that were free. That one. And
how much is this?
$20.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Is this Apple make this? Or
no, it's third party.
It's got an Apple feel to it though.
Yeah, agreed.
They're so great at making adapters.
And it came in a nice little case also.
Yeah.
Which had an Apple vibe to it.
Fuck them.
Yeah, I was irate. I was so upset.
How upset were you?
Just thinking about Apple and like how much it's changed since I went Apple. Because I almost, I almost went off the grid. Like I almost said, "Fuck computers. I'm not going to use them."
Yeah,
because I was tired of buying a new PC every 2 years, and that bitch would crash and fail.
I mean, dude, I got the last 17-inch MacBook. I think it's a MacBook Pro. Is that right? And that motherfucker has got to be almost 10 years old. It's got to be. Still going strong.
Yeah, so I bought. So I was going to go off the grid. I told everybody I'm done with computers. Don't ask me to email you. I'm out. And a buddy of mine hit me up and was like, "Look, before you decide to close the curtain on it, give Apple a try. And if you don't like it, then you're not going to like anything. Just." I was like, cool. And I respect this guy, so I was like, I will go. So I got an iMac, and I got my wife a MacBook with tax money. And it should change my life. Yeah. Like, and my iMac ran for 10 years, still runs fine. The screen just finally burned out. But like, I can hook it up to something else, works like a champ.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a way, because even Phillips says you got to come over here and hit something with a blowtorch and like
resets the screen. There's a board. There's like the visual board or whatever, and if you heat it up, it'll work again. But it'll never work perfectly.
Yeah.
But anyway, like Laura's MacBook still works. It's not super efficient anymore, but it still works, and it's 12, 13, 14 years old now.
Yeah. You're upstairs using it yesterday.
But ever since fucking Jobs died, that shit, the company just has. It seemed like it's just been. It seemed like their approach before was spend top dollar, get top quality for a long period of time, and now it seems like their approach is spend top dollar every month. Yeah,
and we had an interesting conversation in regards to this on the Patreon. Yeah, we kind of went into it, and we'll leave it at that. Those of you in the know are in the know. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't think anything else in my nerd week. I think I pretty much got all my Christmas shopping done, which I'm pretty excited about.
That's awesome. I got Laura's done. Oh, I need to get stuff for the kids for her.
I got some stuff still coming in the mail, and I gotta do some fucking wrap because my wife doesn't wrap presents. She's fucking trash at wrapping presents. I'm just like, sit there and fucking drink your wine. Yeah. Oh, Daddy got this. Yeah, dude. There's this fucking thing. It's like a cone or something, like a cylinder, right? Not a cylinder, like a piece of pipe that fits on wrapping paper. It's got a razor blade inside of it, so you just like put it around the wrapping paper and slide it up to cut the wrapping paper.
That's awesome,
dude. I fucking need to have one of those.
Yeah, that's awesome.
As soon as possible.
That's awesome.
So that's almost, and you have the little fucking bracelets with the tape on it. You pull one piece at a time, dude. Fucking mouth is watering wrapping on them presents. Yeah. So that's some good stuff, man. And just getting ready for a little vacation action next week, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
My brother's coming up to stay at the house, and Alex will be there as well. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fun. So I was thinking about like leaving the dog with them, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take my dog with me. That'll be good. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's jump into anything else.
No, I got plenty of news. Because we have and Paul C. Relax, we're still doing news. We're definitely doing news. It was just a really light news week that week, and we hadn't seen each other in 2 weeks, so we had a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
So, Cowboy Steam-Bop. Netflix is doing a live action Cowboy Be-Bop.
Canceled.
No, not yet.
Canceled after season 3.
And I think that's cool. I'm up for that. I don't know anything about Deathman or whatever, but like it seems to be like something that they're doing, taking animes, turning them into live action for. I feel like
you mean Death Note?
Yeah, Death Note. I'm sorry, but like I'm Deathman.
Not to be confused with
Dead Man,
Def Jam,
or Def Jam. But I'm up for this. I'm up for this approach, especially if they do something that means like if they did a Fist of the North Star or something.
Yeah,
like
that'd
that.
be cool. They did a shitty version. Back in the day.
Yeah. But if they did something like us,
it was still pretty accurate to the anime, though.
But I'm up for that. I'm up for that sort of shit. It seems new. It seems fresh to me. The last stone unturned, maybe.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. And then we have the Thanosaurus Rex.
Mm-hmm.
There is a dinosaur that has been discovered, and they're naming it Thanos.
Or Thanos.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Thanos. So they're calling it the...
It's got a opposable thumb, and actually before it jumped on its prey, it went... made the snapping sound.
Actually, you know how the dinosaurs died?
What's that? And the other half turned into birds.
He snapped twice.
The other half turned into birds.
But it's called Thanos simonatui. It's a long word. Was a carnivorous dinosaur that resided in Brazil during the late part of the Cretaceous period, around 145 million years ago.
Fat ass too.
The announcement of the new dinosaur discovery first came in Historical Biology, a journal published online on November 16th, 2018.
You know what, man? There's some stereotypes that nobody ever cared, that nobody complains about. You know what I mean? Like that, like the fat ass Brazilian stereotype.
Dude.
I mean, do they?
Don't they?
I mean, do they complain about it?
Oh, no.
No, we complain about that.
You know what they do?
What's that?
They celebrate it.
Yeah, they do.
Which I couldn't be happier about. Thanos differs from other theropods by having a well-developed kneel becoming wider and deeper posteriorly on the ventral surface.
Does that mean fat ass?
Hopefully. Two lateral small foramina separated by a relative wide wall on each lateral surface of the centrum and well-developed and deep presygapophyseal, which this is why I don't read science shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fucking dinosaur named Thanos is what the point of this is. And that's fucking awesome.
It's tight.
Marilyn Phil shared it, of course. And I was like, and he was like, best of both worlds for me or whatever. Like, I'm going to have Marilyn Phil on for a regular collector's episode to have a dinosaur toy discussion, go through Dino Riders and...
Yeah, I was going to make a harness the power joke with that.
The little...
God damn it.
The little non-moving ones you would get from the museum and all that kind of shit, the Jurassic Park ones. Let's see. So then we have Hellboy Be-Bop. The Hellboy movie images came out, some of the images.
Yeah.
Looks fucking money.
I just saw Hellboy. Is there other?
No, it's just Hellboy. But,
okay.
I mean, that shit looks fucking perfect.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
I like the dark shadows. I hope they kind of try to capture that Magnolia feel.
Mm-hmm. I'm with that.
But yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm on board. And especially if,
what's the date on that?
2019 sometime.
Is it coming out on Netflix?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, eventually.
Canceled.
Eventually it'll be canceled on Netflix.
Canned-Flix. Canned-Flix.
Yeah, Canned-Flix. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that the title. Then we have some fun news for Joe, and of course he's not here to celebrate it, but
Joe got deported.
He did not. Marvel is going to focus on a Asian character, which is from 1973. This character came out like it came out during like the Enter the Dragon era and all this shit, and like so like there's a lot of stereotypes, I think, of that era that don't necessarily fit with the modern sort of consciousness regarding the topic. So they're changing some things to make it a little less.
Is he a white guy?
Kung Fung Fooey, if you know what I mean. But no, Asian guy. His name is Shang-Chi, and it's going to be Marvel's first Asian film superhero franchise.
His name is Bob.
Yeah, Steve. So a couple things that are interesting about it. They're definitely they're not even being like they're not even trying to leave anything up for people to start debating about. They're like, yeah, like we want to do for the Asian community what Black Panther was kind of able to do with the Black community.
Does he know martial arts?
Yes.
Oh.
So we're going to
dude. What if he didn't?
They're going to have an Asian filmmaker.
Yeah.
Asian, largely Asian cast. Except for Scarlett Johansson, who will be playing Shang-Chi himself. And, yeah, so it's...
God. Oh, that'd be so awesome. I think they should just fucking do it. They should just fucking do it. You know what I mean? It'd be great. Just a fucking giant middle finger to everybody's sensitivities.
But this character, with being so obscure, and I get playing the Black Panther angle, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it makes, you know what intrigues me about it is I'm like, what the fuck else do they have up their sleeve if they're digging this deep for something? Like, I've never heard of this character. I'm no Marvel expert, but I've been collecting Marvel figures for a very long time, and I know some obscure shit.
Yeah, I think I recall some. I think I recall some shit from him way back in the day, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking that guy that's part of the League. The Legion of Heroes or Extraordinary, whatever, not Legion, Extraordinary Heroes.
Extraordinary Gentlemen. Like Frankenstein.
I think it's like some kind of karate guy or something.
I mean, that fits the bill here.
Yeah, maybe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so anyway, that's what I'm like, man, how obscure, how left are they, or like you were saying yesterday, you know.
In Patreon.
Patreon. You know what? Seriously, though, I really want to take a minute and thank the Patreon folks because the show is going to get better. It's taken a couple huge steps.
Absolutely.
We have a couple more huge steps. Not even huge steps. We have a couple more small steps to go, and we really appreciate it. So, you know, make some noise for the Patreon folks. And if you don't contribute to Patreon and you tell a friend, make some noise for you too.
Maybe not.
Oh, fuck. Volume was down.
There it is. we can hook up phones directly to the soundboard now, to the computer, so you can call people.
Correct.
Do call Robert D right now. Is he working?
He might be.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'll call him.
Yeah, be fine. Be fine.
But, you know, like, it would have seemed crazy to do a Guardians of the Galaxy movie 10 years ago, and now it seems crazy to do a Shang-Chi movie, but, like, I wonder what else is in that pocket, you know?
There's tons of stories to tell. Tons of stories. Listen to that crystal clear ring in our ears. And Robert D can hear us as well.
Correct.
Through the microphone. Our microphone. Has he changed his voicemail to Robert D. Toff yet?
No. He's not going to answer.
He's too busy chasing the ambulance.
Of course, it's the one time we want people to call and nobody calls.
Dude, who's next? Who should we call next?
So anyway,
dude, you should call that Apple guy up and apologize to him on the air.
Do you want to call Shane?
Yeah, dude.
Shane, for those listening,
it's a clown from out of town.
Yeah, he's the one who came down to my collection room and said, "Well, this is fucking stupid." That's kind of become a famous story.
Shaneism.
Yeah,
yeah, we've huge amount of Shaneisms going on through the years.
All right. Let's give him a call.
Okay.
Seems lower.
Hello.
Style from Miles.
Oh, Bobina, what's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I got Adam here as well.
What's going on, man?
Oh, Adam.
We just recently figured out how to hook up our telephone to our mixing board to the computer for a podcast.
Yeah,
so exciting, bro.
I know, it's kind of a big deal. So you are the first person to talk on a podcast via cell phone.
All right, I don't know anything about what you guys are into, but I'd love to be on a podcast right now. So what's going on?
Hey man, tell us about your week,
Talk
bro.
to me, man. Throw me some questions I don't know the answer to.
Oh, nice.
Who is your favorite Marvel superhero?
Batman.
Batman. Not a Marvel. Not a Marvel. You know what? You guys can go fuck yourself. I'm gonna go with Wolverine.
Okay, all
Fair
right.
enough.
That's
Fair
in,
enough.
That's in the pocket. What about DC superheroes?
I'm gonna go with Batman.
What about Star Wars Jedi?
Han Solo. Of course.
Of course. Hey, remember that time after episode 1 when you passed out on the street?
Yep.
I
was so excited about the movie. I couldn't contain myself. Yeah, the first time I pissed myself. You know, I think I had about
just
25 cherry cokes, and I don't know. I think I just had a moment of clarity, man. My whole life came together. Because I just couldn't. I didn't. The animation was just. It was so good that I fucking blew my mind.
Did you piss on the floor or something in the theater?
No, I passed out in the parking lot.
Yeah,
No, that too.
I slid right off the car. I might have pissed the floor.
I thought he was doing the "oh yo," like Shane used to always do "oh yo," like every time something was
that'd
like
be a major "oh yo."
Yeah. And I thought he was doing the super major,
legendary, legendary.
Because like I thought he was going like weak in the knees for the "oh yo," and I thought he was.
I remember you telling me that. And I was like, nah, dude, I don't know. I was scared. I was like, what the fuck happened, man? I don't know.
Do you want a side story about that night? I put underneath your ass to take you home my Columbia rain jacket, and I think I took you inside with it around your waist, and I never saw that Columbia rain jacket again. I
definitely didn't have it.
I just.
Well, I'm sure Brutus and Mario had
it. For sure.
It ended up in a pile somewhere.
Under some tires.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Are you off today?
Yeah, I am.
Nice. How are you shaping up for the holidays?
Shaping up for the holidays?
Mm-hmm. You got your shopping done and all that?
No, not at all. You know me.
Last second.
It's gonna be a last minute crawl.
Yeah. Christmas Eve.
And I have no money, so it'll be even better. You know, I don't think we're doing gifts this year, man. I think it's just the kids, and I don't want anything from anyone. They spent $1,000 on me in fucking treatment and rehab over the past year and a half.
Are you still doing well on the clean train?
No, not at all. I'm back in a halfway house. I didn't relapse, but I checked myself back in to hang out with the dorm.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
What did you relapse with?
Dude, I'm sick. I have a problem.
Right.
You know, so not just that, sex, gambling, anything that's exciting at all. You know your boy's into it. So
dude, you gotta relax.
Oh yeah, I'll just relax, bro. I'll just hang out. You know, I'll have a moment of clarity. My life's gonna just improve overnight. You know. No, dude, I'm an alcoholic and I'm an addict. I mean, it's not anything to fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
It's life or death for me. So, you know, I'm accepting that. And I think it's better for me to be out of the house. It's still toxic with my wife because she doesn't know if I'm bullshitting her or not.
Right.
And so I'm here. And then I see the kids when I can. I'm working at a grocery store right now.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Trader Joe's, man. Fucking loving it.
Trader Joe's, man. Fucking. Are you are you living at the halfway house?
Let me charge up my hold on. Let me grab a. I need to grab a. Let me charge. I'm about to die. This phone's about to die. Hold on one second.
This podcast is taking a very serious.
Yeah, man.
Left turn.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep it dark, man, but I think your audience is gonna love it.
Probably they're a bunch of savages like us.
Yeah.
Figure I can relate to that too, man. I'm a junkie with this fucking collection. I can't stop collecting.
So it's sex, gambling, drinking, fighting around the world.
Same thing. Same thing.
Oh man. Moral dilemma.
It's fine.
It's so crazy to me that like you've you've fallen back upon some hard times. You know, you're.
Well,
but your attitude,
I've been
you're
all about Shane for as long as you can remember. Why is that
true?
Why is that surprising?
But no. And that's not what's surprising. What's surprising is, and to call you up and still your like tone and like voice presence and all that, like there's no change. Like it's not like you're like glum and down, or like I don't hear any tint of the blues. It's just like man.
That's because I'm working a program, and I'm taking action towards it. If I was just sitting back,
holding yourself accountable for it,
I'd be depressed. Yeah, I'm taking accountability.
Yeah, man, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So are you living in this place? Or are you?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm living here. I'm sleeping here. I mean I'm literally out of pocket Monday through Sunday, whether it be 2 days a week at a group that I go to, and then I have 5 nights a week I'm working at the store. I work like 2:45 to like 11. Yeah.
How
so
is wifey on board? Is she riding?
Yeah. I mean, she's supporting it.
Dude,
she's not on board at all, but she's riding the wave, I guess.
You gotta
on the surfboard.
She's not on the surfboard. You got a good one, man.
Oh, dude, she's the best, but she's also codependent. I feel bad for her. I just hope she gets help for herself to get rid of that pain. That's all I could ask. You know, I can't do anything for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could just get better and hope that she gets better. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I could do, man. I have no control. I'm powerless over the universe.
The last time I talked to you, it seemed like everything was on the up and up.
It was, but it started to digress, you know.
Yeah.
And as soon as I noticed it, because it happened suddenly. It's not like all of a sudden, like, I'm gonna go fucking, you know, go to the bar. No, it's not like that at all. You just start, let me go to the pool. Let me take a drive by the strip joint just to see what's going on. Let me
see what's going on.
You know, let's just have a ginger ale, just hang out,
right,
by myself. I mean, who does that? You know, I mean, I'm sick in the head, dude. I love it. I'm glad I am, because, you know, and I've always known that something was off. It's different about me than everyone else. I just couldn't pinpoint it until recently, you know, and you know, and it's just awareness, self-awareness, dude. It's like, that's the biggest thing, is like understanding, you know, what's going, like, why, since childhood, you know, entitlement, you know, hanging out with deviants like you, you know, no, but seriously, man, like, on a real tip, you know, I'm grateful that I have good friends in my life like you. Because you know, you bring back a time in my life that I have the fondest memories of. You know?
Yeah, they were good times.
Yeah,
we try to tell people, like the listeners and stuff, about like the world.
They don't understand.
They don't. They can't. Like
they can't understand
it. It was such a like special thing, like that I often reminisce about and miss, and like just the antics and the collection of things.
That might have been the best thing I've ever said.
Yeah, let me tell that story. So like, Mario's house was trash. Like it was always like
it was trashy.
Yeah, it was trashy. Like it was always in disarray.
It was a crack house, dude.
Dude, I remember it was a World 3.0 or 2.0. I was in the bathroom, and there's like levels of boxes like on the floor. Because they didn't clean it.
Yeah,
they just put another like a cat box.
Yeah,
the levels got worse and worse.
Oh yeah, yeah. And, like, it got to the point where like some of them were soft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I was
dude, his bedroom smelled like a dumpster.
So anyway, let me finish telling the story. So I forget how it initiated, but Mario was talking about all the girls he gets and all this that like nobody really ever bought. And Shane was like, oh, of course you do. You just probably hit him up like, hey girl, you want to come over? And like he gestured his hand like around the room, which was like in terrible shape. And he was like, see my collection of things?
Oh man. Oh, goddamn.
was,
I feel like that hurt. I feel like that hurt his feelings, bro.
yeah.
He was a sadist. He loved that shit.
He got mad that day. I remember like you know, like his. I remember,
He was pissed that day, dude. That was a bad day for him.
Yeah.
He went. That's right. He went to Burger King and walked it off. You know what I mean? Fucking double whoppers with cheese.
Oh man.
Oh, I miss that dude.
Didn't Bruce work at Burger King?
Yeah, when it first opened.
Jay, didn't you work? You worked there too, right?
No.
No. Shane and I.
Oh no. You know who it was? It was what's his face?
Chasing some black to fucking work there or something. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was.
Oh yeah, you a Shy. What was her name? Aisha.
Aisha.
Yeah.
Aisha.
Yeah, and then you had a few. You had a few up there. I remember like Shane and I were always the ones that couldn't get jobs. So like his.
We didn't want to work.
That too.
We just didn't want to work.
But I applied. I remember I applied. No, because you had like
Dude, what do you mean? We had a full-time job becoming famous and touring Japan. Dude, we were all in.
But I remember like your mom and my grandma would have like these like little secret meetings.
Oh really?
Of like to conspire on how to like get us a secure term of employment. And eventually you started working at the tennis courts.
Yeah, and eventually I used to have to come come early to your crib to get you fucking motivated enough to get your ass to the dollar store.
Yeah, I started working at a dollar store. It was a very Shane job and a very Bobby job.
Yeah, for sure.
How much is this? They check the price on that.
Yeah, everything was $1, man. It was but I remember like you would work like an early shift and you would come over to my house like 10 or 11 and I'd still be in bed and you like pop up in my room like rise and shine. And then like we'd hit the world.
Oh, the world was great. I used to love to walk over to the world.
The walk over to the world was great. It hit a couple fugs on the way to the world.
Dude, that was just freedom, man. That was pure freedom.
It was. It really felt like there is something about that time where you just felt like you could do whatever you wanted to do.
You were a kid, man. We were kids.
Yeah.
You look at it, we were kids, bro. We're what, 15, 16 years old, man?
Yeah.
Nobody looking after us, just out there in the world. You know what I mean?
Being savages.
Yeah. Out there in the world and in the world.
Scratching our heads like they didn't know what to do. They couldn't control us at all.
And your mom picking you up from the world like, what the like smelling like cigarettes and looking like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, God.
And then like you had the Style-mobile.
The Style-mobile was great.
It was like this like station wagon, this like old white Volvo station wagon.
God.
And like you would always hit cigarettes in the Style-mobile, and then I'd be like, dude, your parents are gonna kill you over this. You'd be like, no, I got the secret, and you'd like drop all the windows down for like the last 5 minutes of the trip. You'd be like, airs it right out.
Yeah, you remember shit that I don't remember. I love that shit. But you bring it back for me because I totally would say some stupid shit like that.
Yeah, I often like it's even like it's like a thing that I say still to this day. Like that day that your dad told like you got like flippant with your father, and he was like Bobby, better tell him to cool his jets. and then like as you were about to be like, why don't you tell him to cool his jets? You know what I mean? Oh my God, man!
We go on forever, man. I there's so many stories, dude. You know what's funny, dude? I was just thinking about the whole machine thing.
Oh man,
because I'm thinking about why I'm so fucked up with pornography and everything else. I'm like, wait a second, I used to fucking smack this fucking porn star around, like, of course, that. Of course, I'm like objectify women now. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember Mario used to say. Like sometimes when like girls like that were over, he would say like, "Okay, it's time to play strip club," and he would like bring out. You remember that?
Yes.
He would bring out like wads of money and put on music, and these girls would just start dancing. Like it was. I mean, that was a surreal experience. Like that's not your typical teenage experience.
That's not what you should be exposed to at all.
Really? Explain it to me.
Adam's like, where was I?
Yeah, like. those days, man. Like some of those nights, and I remember you used to get so upset because I'd always be wifed up, like on
I hated it, bro. For Mario, fucking suck. Let's get some cast and cream. You know, and I'd be fucking sipping on cast and cream.
And you'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Which was great, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and those nights you would hit me up, you'd be like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I'd be like, "Oh, tonight." And you'd be like, "Oh, chilling with the girl." It was always the girl. Like that was Laura's name. Like people would be like, "Oh, you hanging out with the girl?"
Laura.
Never.
Never Laura.
Always the girl. Dude.
Oh, the girl, dude. True romance.
Yeah.
I was jealous, you know, because I couldn't find anything stable, you know.
Well, maybe because you were unstable.
Clearly.
I remember Janai, this girl. But like that one time, like I used to give you a hard time because like her mom was like into like witchcraft or whatever.
Oh yeah, we went over there and she smudged the house.
Yeah, she like smudged the house.
Oh, God.
And she would like it was like this little bowl and these little like herbs and stuff she put in the bowl and like crush them.
Dope.
Yeah, she was dope.
No, it wasn't.
And like I'd be like, they're like yeah, I had her smudge my car. That's what
Wasn't
she
there something like like noses or something?
That was Saudi.
Oh, okay.
They start speaking in tongues and shit.
Yeah, they would start speaking crazy. Remember we went to that little religious party they had?
Oh.
And the cops came?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking bananas. And like we were in I remember that like I was giving you a hard time, like breaking your balls for it. Like I was like, man, why don't you get your car smudged? Like go have somebody go find a witch to smudge your car or whatever. And you're like you just mashing smudge your car, son.
Well, hold on. The classic thing was, you know, the Mace hit, you know, really resonated with Marcus. You know what I mean? To the point where, you know, he was half baked. He came over to the house and literally tried to convince us there was a serious message in that song. And we lost it, man.
Yeah, because
we lost it.
So
since then, he was trees in the grease. Like, that's when he was labeled trees.
Yeah, this guy Marcus that we hung out with, he was like I'm talking to the listeners. He was like a pothead, and he was the guy like the worst kind of pothead to like read the Bible after he got high, and he started seeing like all these messages and stuff, and the Mace record, the bad boys, you make me feel so good. And he came over and he was like, dude, that dude worships the devil, man. You're not hearing the message in it. And he like laid out his arm and he like made a karate chop, like pose with the other hand, and just kept going up and down his forearm with each syllable, bad boy. You make me feel so good. Listen, bad boy. I wouldn't change you if I could. Saying that he knows he's evil, and even if he could change, he wouldn't. And like the whole room was like speechless. Like, what the fuck? And Shane was like, trees and degrees. And like ever since then, like he just became trees. Everybody called him trees. His name was Lost.
Hey, you talk to him anymore at all? Shane?
Oh yeah, I talk to him a lot. Yeah, he's doing well. He's
Good.
Doing well.
Yeah, he turned out all right, I think. I'm still supposed to call him back. Just like,
yeah, you should call him back. You're so stubborn with that shit, man. Just fucking let it go, man.
No, I'm not. I'm over it. I'm done with it. Seriously, honestly.
That was pretty epic. Though. You know, the whole exchange at your party. I thought that was interesting. To say the least.
You don't say.
And by the way, yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, man, but Anthony Adams is like into fitness pretty hard, man. I don't know if you've seen all 10,000 updates on his Instagram.
We have.
And that's pretty intense.
It is.
I'm like, this guy's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle now. I don't know if he's got I don't know what he's going for exactly, but I think that like those shots usually sent to a girl you're trying to fuck, not, you know, to the entire, you know, your entire community of professional people potentially on Instagram.
He, you know, I got to give it to him though, like, cause he was working for a cable company when I first started talking to him, like when we reunited, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, he was like, I'm working for this cable company 9 to 5, and then at nights I'm going to school to get my nutrition degree and my fitness degree or whatever, and then I'm going to start becoming a personal trainer. And like he did it.
Yeah.
You know,
He
like
did it. Yeah.
yeah, you know.
He was always strong-willed. He just
Agreed.
he was just a little too strong. Like the dap would literally break my hand sometimes. You know what I mean? So
I remember those impressions that we used to do of him, like
the big ass cheese.
Yeah, the big ass cheese,
with
like
the fucking with the handshake and just completely obliterate your hand. You know, just super excited for no reason.
Like, dude, you do not like pancakes.
My dad was like, "What's wrong with this guy? And why are you hanging out?"
Yeah, my dad wasn't feeling him either.
My dad thought he was on speed, and he might have been. I don't know.
Was it Marcus's dad? Was it Marcus's dad that could see people's auras and didn't like change the aura or some shit?
I think that was Janai's mom.
No.
Janai's mom was into that aura shit.
No, it was Marcus's dad.
No, because Marcus's dad was out of the picture.
Yeah. Marcus's dad that's Clarence. Clarence was living a retired life out in Bowie somewhere with some white woman just loving life. He wasn't worried about Marcus at all.
Yeah, he never really.
And Marcus always resented him for that, you know.
Yeah, which understandably so,
and rightfully so.
Yeah,
he chose another family over him.
1000%. I wonder how Marcus's mom is doing.
She's like just that supporter, churchgoer. You know, watches the kids.
She's got to be up there in age.
Woman. She's a good woman.
Yeah, she is. She always has been.
Yeah.
She's got to be up there in age. Well, look.
Yeah, she is. She's been sick and this and that. So.
I'm sure. Let me wrap up this conversation. I will try to get you a call back as soon as I can to kind of catch up with you in terms of what's going on personally with you.
Yeah. I didn't mean to just throw that out to your listeners, but at the same time,
no, I mean,
I'm good
with. I'm good with whatever you put out.
But yeah, so listeners, I just want you to if I could just close this out, you know, and I appreciate the phone call and being one of the first, and I'd like to actually be able to upload this and hear it because I'm sure it'd be fucking hysterical.
Yeah, I'll link you when it's out.
But really quick, I just want the listeners to know, I don't know if there's any other nerd out there who is as knowledgeable as I'm sure there is, but I mean, as intelligent as this guy in terms of what he's doing. And I just want to say I'm proud of him for fulfilling a hobby and making it into a dream and a business. So I'm just throwing that out there.
That's very nice of you to say. But trust me, there's people that let me know every day of the week how much I don't know.
Well, that's the whole point. That's growth.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
All right, everyone.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
See you
later.
Wow,
that was fun. At first, I was like,
"Oh, I know." I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, here we go.
Dude, I don't know if you understand that we're recording this and we're gonna.
No, he knew.
No, I know. He doesn't give a shit.
No, I mean, like, I was thinking, okay, he's gonna say something wild about like some like 17-year-old Filipino hooker.
Yeah, I was curbing anything that could have possibly gone left. I like, hey, remember when such and such? I'm like, yeah, but remember that apple pie that we had? That was really... Yeah.
Oh man, because Shane's always said some wild shit.
Oh my God.
With the confidence, just to
Yeah, because he never really had to. He never really had to care. Send me the link when you get a sec.
Okay.
He never really had to care. Like he was a carefree, and still is, I guess, maybe a little too carefree. Guy. But he even times when he should have cared, when he should have been a little bit more, taking a little bit more care with the things that he was saying. Anytime he would say those things, Mario, Brutus, Dante, we were all there.
Yeah.
So like it could only get so dumb for him, But I love him. Like I love that guy.
Who's next?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's get to a couple more show notes.
I don't know if we can match that right now. I'm going to say that next episode.
I know. I'm scared to put anybody else on the hot seat because I don't think you can.
Oh, this sucks.
Yeah, exactly. So Captain Hydra is like a new Captain America villain being introduced.
So was he was Steve Rogers from a different universe?
I think so.
I don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't want that. I don't need a.
I don't either necessarily, but at the same time,
I don't need a bizarro Captain America.
I do think that Marvel needs some stronger, resonating, long-lasting villains. So, like, I'm curious with
not this, not like this.
So I kind of celebrate any attempt at trying to make something stick.
Yeah, but I'm so tired of the evil version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just
no. That's valid. That's valid.
Everybody's got it.
Yep.
It's not. You need
That's
to have
valid.
something that is an evil reflection, but not the
Correct.
same thing.
That's bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we have, of course, the Netflix cancels everything.
Yeah. Talked about that on the Patreon.
Yeah, we go we go way deep into it on Patreon.
Yeah.
And it's maybe one of our best discussions. Oh my God, dude. This is not working out.
Yeah, get the other one lined up.
But just to address it quickly here is, they're canceling Daredevil after season 3, which is out.
Yeah.
And
everything else is canceled, but
Jessica Jones and Punisher's getting a season 2 as well. So
hopefully Robert D comments about that.
Yeah, that's
the
cool.
next Shattercast you're on in like 3 weeks.
No. I'm on tonight.
Don't do that.
I think that they'll be canceled after Jessica Jones and such. But what they did say, I think Kevin Feige, I think he said, this won't be the end of Daredevil.
Yeah,
in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Like he alluded to something that's got, like, of course, the internet perhaps looking 1,000 times more deep into it than they should.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to pull up the quote. While the series on Netflix has ended, the 3 existing seasons will remain on the service for years to come, while the Daredevil character will live on in future projects from Marvel.
Just the character, though.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if they want to just say this is a separate, like you said yesterday, say a separate and bring a Daredevil movie to the MCU, sign me up for that.
Yeah, it's fine.
That I would prefer it.
Again, and we talked about this yesterday on Patreon.
Oh, you gotta keep it a little bit.
You need to leave it up. There you go. But like a lot of those characters aren't that interesting outside a very specific world, and that you have to have, like, Daredevil. You have to have that dark, that Max type, Marvel Max Knights, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
So.
So then also the Russo brothers were recently interviewed. And they were talking to them about fan theories.
Yeah.
Like, is Loki really Bruce Banner? And they were like, Loki is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So.
For now.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, that's what we're always going to. Snoke is dead for now. Like we're always going to do that shit as fans, I think.
Dude, I don't want to rehash this between us, but I had an interesting conversation with one of our new Beer and Bolters guys who is a big fan of Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
Episode 8 specifically.
Nice.
And but it's funny, dude. Like we kind of went back and forth with it, and he ended up being the minority in the room in regards to enjoying that film. But dude, people are still that's still a hot topic. But he went to? He's like, yeah, but Star Wars is for kids. It's designed for kids.
Yeah, I don't
like that argument.
Yeah, I don't like that argument either. I think it has to be accessible to kids. I think that's the key.
Agreed. But anyway,
I always want the next generation of kids to fall in love with Star Wars.
Yeah, and because you're talking about the Han Solo movie, and like it's not. I know it's not your favorite by any stretch of imagination, but everybody kind of liked it.
Mm-hmm. I know, me myself included.
Yeah. I wonder if that is the least controversial Star Wars movie that's come out of late.
Yeah, because it's so fucking safe, dude. Like it's the vanilla ice cream of Star Wars.
Oof, valid point.
So what else do we have? We have Disney has a vision. Apparently, the Scarlet Witch TV show that's coming to the Disney streaming service will have.
I get the joke.
Will have Vision as a co-star.
But is it going to be a live action?
I think so. Yeah.
I
think so.
The proper characters.
I think so.
They're not doing anything anyway.
Yeah.
There's no more movies in their future.
Yeah. Well, I think like the one guy, the Vision guy, has a more successful career than her. I think.
Yeah, but he's kind of like. He's in that Jude Law area.
Yes.
Like he was very,
I agree.
What's his name?
I don't
exactly.
Yeah, Vision.
Fuck, Beatty something.
Oh, you're talking about Vision.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. And maybe DC is
Paul Beatty.
maybe DC is seeing the light. There's talks of Superman and
Batman.
Flash being moved to the back burner.
Yeah.
Of the back burners.
Yeah.
And they're concentrating on a Blue Beetle.
It's not even the back burner. It's like that center warmer burner. Right.
Maybe the warming tray.
Yeah.
And they're starting to work on a Blue
We're
Beetle.
just gonna put you in a microwave and not turn it on. Just let the heat kind of keep you at room temperature in a closed area. That's where you're gonna go.
Or we're gonna microwave you for 30 seconds, but we're not coming back till tomorrow to see how you're doing.
That's right.
But they're working on a Blue Beetle movie.
It's fine.
See, this is the kind of stuff where I think there's some merit there. Like, to work on these more obscure characters, build them up, and then start introducing the bigger characters.
But I guarantee you they're not going to go with a Ted. They're going to go with a Hami. What's his name?
Yeah, the Hispanic dude.
The
I think they've said that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, but he's cool. Blue
No,
Beetle.
I love his Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, it's like, he's the third Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting.
He's also the current.
Yeah.
So I think that's he might be the most popular.
Probably. He's more interesting. It's like an alien technology and shit like that.
Agreed.
And it's a symbiote.
So I think that I would love to see like a Blue Beetle and Booster Gold and this kind of stuff, and then start building stuff around that. Start at like the less A-list.
Agreed.
I'd be on board for that. And then we have one question, and that is, dude, my phone. That's not my phone. It's the apps. Actually, we have a little bit of Frank Miller Dark Knight news.
What's that?
Frank Miller is returning for Tom King's Batman.
Okay.
Writer Tom King dropped a bombshell on the comic book industry today
Dropped a bomb on me.
when he teased a collaboration with the acclaimed writer of Batman Year One. And
but he's just doing Batman's penis. He's just drawing Batman's penis in the cloth, not even in the shadows.
But King tweeted an image of a battle damaged and decidedly Miller drawn Dark Knight, along with the caption "Coming up in Batman, art by Frank Miller."
Let me see.
It's very Frank Miller.
Okay.
But like, I'm up for that. Like, I don't know too much of Tom King's work, offhand.
I feel like he did something that we like. Did he do Arkham Asylum?
No, that was Morrison. Right?
Probably.
I think it was. But I'll be honest, man. Like, I think the article got it right. I mean, they did drop a bomb on us.
You're gonna get a lot more of this.
And we're gonna get flagged.
That's right.
We don't care. We don't have 1,000 subscribers,
right.
so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to us. We don't care. Don't
Dude,
keep talking.
This shit puts you in a good mood,
right.
man.
Just stop every once in a while, like every 15 seconds, and hit pause again. Hit play. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, YouTube.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm up for that. The question though was, if you were to go back in time, and I want to make sure I get the date right, to 1955, what song would you perform at the Enchantment Under the Sea
Ooh,
dance?
Back to the Future jump off. Now, I would only do this if I could sing and had my bass, drum, and guitar buddies to do it as well, and a piano. Be Bohemian Rhapsody. Blow them the fuck away.
So
for 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's a good answer. Mine would be one of two.
Dipset?
No. Mine would be one of two songs, and it would be dependent on whether or not Laura was there or not. And they're kind of my go-tos for, like, if I'm somewhere and karaoke comes on or something like that. If Laura is there, if Laura's not there, I'm doing Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy and Rick James. And if Laura is there, I'm doing oh my God, I just had it lined up, and then I just had a complete fucking mind fart.
Well, another one would be good would be Don't Stop Believing. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
That'd be fun.
Why can't I?
Dude, you don't know anything about music.
Yeah, dude, you don't know shit about flowers.
I got nibbles, Greg. Could you milk me?
I know what it is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my other go-to.
Definitely getting flagged for that
The
one.
way you make me feel.
Mhm.
It's 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How about Human Nature?
no, not anymore, man. I can't listen to it anymore, dude.
Really?
I can't
I
listen
can
to
still
it
listen
anymore.
to it. I can still listen to his whole catalog.
It feels weird.
Get out of
That
here.
one feels weird.
Does it?
That one feels weird.
No.
Yeah, that one feels a little weird. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now this one I can still listen to, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me feel weird. Also, Smooth Criminal.
Why do you got to ruin my childhood?
It wasn't me, man. All right, and then we actually have some Star Wars news this week, which is pretty interesting stuff. We have one that's not so interesting. Disney won't leave that era. They're doing a series of short animated episodes starring the original cast, not voice actors, obviously.
Are they going to be in canon?
But character cast. As far as I know, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and the rest of the cast in the original Star Wars films are about to be reunited in a brand new series of animated shorts.
Feels so good.
At the end of the month, Disney is debuting a brand new YouTube Star Wars channel, Star Wars Kids. The channel will launch with its first shorts from a new animated series, Galaxies of Adventures. It will dialogue, sound effects from music, and Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. My thing with it, the trailer has been released for the shorts, but I haven't watched it.
Should we watch it now?
We can.
Yeah, let's do it. We still haven't talked about Miss Marvel either.
I guess we'll do that after. I forgot about it.
Captain Marvel.
Star Wars, what was it called? Star Wars Adventures.
Galaxy Adventures.
Was it Galaxy Adventures?
Star Wars stupid ass bullshit.
Galaxy of Adventures.
Galaxy in a far, far away. Galaxy of bullshit. Riveting podcasting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It looks like
we'll save it for later.
Yeah,
next episode.
Luke Skywalker: The Journey Begins. Here's one.
All right, I'm gonna describe it to you. It's a little
this is definitely getting flagged.
Oh yeah. Oh, it looks bad.
It doesn't look bad. It looks like Voltron.
I don't know, man. It looks like She-Ra.
I would say that's in that similar pocket.
Maybe. I can tell the difference.
But see, look at him. This is Farm Boy Luke. Like, this is not the Luke I want to see. I want to see if they're gonna.
Oh, wait a minute. That's dubbed.
Yeah.
That's a little much. It killed a bunch of kids.
But if they're gonna do this era and with these characters, I want to see after Jedi.
Yeah, or I want to see after. I wouldn't mind seeing in between 4 and 5. I could get there.
Yes,
because 5 and 6 you can't see it because that's the that's the big.
Well, Han is locked away.
Well, and they're licking their wounds, so I don't think it'd be as interesting. It might take away some stuff from Jedi. But yeah, I agree. I want to see after Jedi. Yeah, of course.
So why don't we pause and save to watch this trailer first? Because I need to refresh my memory.
All right. The cat's totally a scroll.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah,
looks really good.
She looks great in the suit, and then when her hair's all like fiery and
energy.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. And I like the mask how they incorporate
Me
that.
too.
So it'll be cool to see how they explain everything, and also I guess they got to fill in where she's been.
Yeah,
since the '90s, and dude,
and what implications her presence has had.
Samuel L. Jackson's age reduction, it's amazing. It looks flawless to me.
Agreed.
So I mean, if that is a new norm, dude, they open up so much to what the future can hold with this.
I wonder what the cost is of that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure there's some of it is prosthetics as well.
Yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what, dude? I bet you these programs are getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah, I mean they tend to, but this seems to be pretty cutting edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So like, I just wonder how much of a budget goes into something like that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about her yet. I she doesn't feel.
She doesn't seem to have, like, she almost seems a little too girl next door.
Yes, and she's not. I don't feel that she's militant enough.
She doesn't seem to have that like Miss Marvel posturing that I see in my head.
Yeah, like she's a soldier.
Yeah,
you know, like, I don't feel that.
And like not just a soldier, but like a confident, capable. I've already figured it out.
Yeah,
like,
almost cold and calculated.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good though.
Yeah, it looks good to me.
March. That's like 4 months away.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get an Infinity War trailer very soon.
Yeah, and then Infinity War is in May.
Yeah, I think so. They announced the trailer date.
The trailer comes out tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that one came out Monday, and they said the other one's tonight. They may push it back. So we'll be back here tomorrow, folks.
Maybe.
Yeah, if it's that good. I mean, it's nothing. Give me a call.
Yeah, well, I'll be. I work tomorrow.
No, tonight. If it comes out tonight, like 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Give me a call. You can call me
on my cell phone.
There it is.
That dude is something else, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind that song.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's got a good little vibe to it.
I'm not crazy about that song, but I recognize I can say I don't like his music and simultaneously say I recognize that he's good at what he does.
Yeah. It's just not for you.
Just not for me. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we need to.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
And I think that we did our episode yesterday on Patreon.
You gotta give me more than
I looked right at it. I did a little looky thing.
You did.
I did a little looky thing. I like it, you know.
How about we need like a little?
Yeah, but I shouldn't have to do that. I think you should have that shit ready to rock and roll for me, man.
All right.
We just need to get the tablet squared away.
Yeah. That's my next project.
There's got to be a soundboard app.
There is.
Just download the sounds.
I'm already
perfect.
I'm already looking into it.
Perfect.
Let's shout out the cool table. We have Shattercast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Beer and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Toy Detox, Stasis Lock, Building Up to It, Breaking the Mold, and Fresh Communications, as well as the Nerd Rage team, Black Phillip, Maryland Phil, Raul the Machine, Joe KW, who'll be gone most of this month, and Dante the Destroyer, and Mr. Manny, who helped me with so much of this, dude. I'm so appreciative of your help. It's like that dude sat there with the instruction manual and YouTube videos playing, trying to figure out like
fucking translating it to idiot.
I mean, crazy. I'm very appreciative of his help. And that should do it.
All right, man. Actually, you know what? I gotta shoot. I gotta push out. I'm pretty sure I invited Manny to Rusmus.
I don't know. Nice. I don't think you invited Shoulders.
I did too. Shoulders.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't see him in the invite, but I was half cocked anyway. So.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. Listen. Everybody's invited to Rusmus. Y'all know who. If you know me, you're invited to Rusmus. All right, just let me know. Anyway, guys. With that said, oh, you got one more? Oh, okay. Okay. With that said, we'll see y'all next week. Actually, we're gonna figure out something for next week's show because I'll be out.
Right.
But I'm sure you got them taken care of. Maybe you can call me.
Yeah.
And with that, great tits.
Tight dick player.